ask the question.
So, how did you come up with the idea for the app? Explain what your aha moment was, and don't be afraid to celebrate yourself.
Oh, how did we come up with the idea of the app? You know, people say that entrepreneurs build products and services out of their own frustrations. You know, you have to, as an entrepreneur, face that problem yourself to truly understand it and find a solution. That's exactly what happened to us. You know, I totally had an epiphany. We were walking with my co-founder, Natalie, and we needed to install an app. We wanted to buy something really quickly. We wanted to pay for some feature, some service thing that we were doing. And I was trying to install another app, and then my device all of a sudden decided to just, you ain't getting that app. He said no. He said, you're out of storage. I had 2 apps installed on my device. I had Instagram and Facebook. I have no idea why my device was out of storage. And I just realized that I could back up my pictures and files and videos quickly on Dropbox. But that wasn't helping me. For some reason, I still was unable to install the app. And I realized that there is no solution to this. There's nothing that I could have done. I needed it right now, not 2 hours from now after watching an hour-long YouTube video on how to clear my device. I needed the solution right now. You know, the aha moment was facing that problem, facing that frustration, being angry about it. But instead of just complaining it and walking away, as an entrepreneur by heart, my co-founder and I decided to do something about it. We said, we're not going to let this fly, because we're not the only people who face this problem. You can go on YouTube right now, you can go on the blogs, people are posting hundreds of blogs. Oh, my phone isn't working, it's not installing something, I'm out of storage, what do I do? It's a problem that people face.
So, how far along could you be with unnecessary money? Sorry, before that, how much money do you need? Be specific.
Apple has been fully bootstrapped by our founders. You know, we've invested a good amount of our portions, we've hired teams of amazing engineers, and we've gone so far already, and we're going to keep going forward. But to scale to the big leagues, you know, to the general population, we need core venture funding. We need core angel and seed funding, which is why our company will be raising a funding round of about $650,000. What is that money for? It's not for fancy hotels or offices, I can tell you that. It's for development, to hire more engineers, to fix the bugs, to offer great customer service, but most important, to cover the operations, to cover the servers. Because when people are going to be using our app, their apps are going to be stored on the cloud, on servers all around the world. We're using data centers all around the world, in Mumbai, Tokyo, Australia. We need to pay for those servers. You know, you got to pay for the electricity. You got to pay the bills, and that is what the money is going to be used for. So we have the technical part covered, but we need funding, we need the economics, we need the numbers to purely just cover the operational expenses, to pay the electricity bill, so to say.
Can you be more specific about how the money will be used, such as what engineers do you need, how much are each engineer? Maybe we could talk about how much each user is costing, so how many users we'd be able to scale with $650.
So during our when we released our prototype back in March, we did not have a financially effective infrastructure. Per user, our cost was something like $30 to $50. But after doing massive upgrades and optimizations, we've decreased the price to a minuscule amount. Now a user that would use the service every day, and a lot of it, would cost us $5, $10 a month, max. We need the money, we need the finances to hire the engineers. What engineers do we need? We need core software engineers. We need database administrators. You know, the people that are going to be, what happens if the app crashes 2 in the morning? By the time it takes me or my co-founder to wake up, to drive to the office, to open the computer and figure out what the bug is and fix it, that could be hours. People in other parts of the world are not going to be able to use the service. The database administrator are the people that are going to be stationed all around the world that are going to be constantly monitoring the system to make sure it works. We need a larger team. You know, no matter how smart my co-founder and I are, and we're pretty smart, we need manpower. We need man and woman power, actually. You know, we need the firepower to develop more, to add more features. Because in technology, you can't walk. You got to sprint. You know, if you walk on an escalator, you're not really going to go anywhere. You got to sprint to be moving forward. That's the technology sector. But to do that, you need to always be innovating. You need to always be pushing yourself every day. And to do that, we need a team, we need finances, and that's why we're here.
Okay, so that was good. It was just like 5 minutes.
Oh, it's okay, we're editing. I know we're not going to be using it straight out.
Okay, so what makes you interesting? What has your biggest challenge been? I guess I'll do it one at a time. What makes you interesting? Keep in mind to brag about yourself, don't be humble.
What makes me interesting? Well, I've been an entrepreneur by heart since I was a child. You know, as a child, I'm used to not being like everyone else. You know, at 14, I started flying planes. People weren't even driving cars at 14. I was already flying planes. I had my first cross-country flight when I was 15. I actually had my first almost crash on a plane. I remember I was flying over an airport, there were F-18s, fighter jets flying, and one of them almost bumped me right into me, knocked me out of the sky. I mean, you don't find 14, 15-year-olds who can just fly a plane, you know? I was working on startup projects when I was 14, 15. I was applying to the TL Fellowship when I was 17, 18. What makes me unique, I think, is just the fact that I've lived all around the world. I've lived in Russia, I've lived in Canada, I've lived in the United States. I've seen the different cultures, I've seen the different people. I can relate to a lot of different people. I'm 23, I'm young. I'm not going to sound like I'm some old Gandalf figure, but I've already seen a very large portion of the world. You know, I can engage people. I can show people the beauty of what it's like to be an entrepreneur, the ups and the downs.
What has the biggest challenge been in business or in your life?
My biggest challenge has been, you know, the challenge of any first-time entrepreneur. You know, unless you were, even people who are born into very wealthy families, you have to prove yourself. You have to prove your name. No one's going to trust you or believe on what you do right away. Actually, most people are going to laugh at you. They're going to spit at you. They're going to push you down. But as an entrepreneur, you have to constantly fight. You know, the challenge of an entrepreneur is holding on to that small belief every day, every night, when everything feels like it's falling apart.
So, what do your friends and family think?
What do my friends and family think about me going on a reality TV show? They think it's pretty epic. They're definitely going to watch me a lot. They're going to cheer for me. They're going to upvote me. What do they think about me being an entrepreneur? They think I'm crazy. You know, I'm definitely not. But you know, my family and friends have kind of gotten used to seeing that I've always been kind of a I don't even know what to say.
No, I think that's good, what you were starting with. Like, your parents are used to change, so they're always been pretty supportive.
What do my friends and parents think of me? Well, my parents are used to change. I mean, they immigrated 3 times. Once from Russia to Canada, then from Canada to the United States. You know, even though they don't start companies, they have that entrepreneur spirit of, you know, embarking on a new journey. They're totally supportive of me. You know, I'm 23 and they're not complaining, Pavel, go get yourself a job at Google or Microsoft or even Apple. They say, you know what, follow your dream. My friends? Well, my friends are my friends